You know those reaction videos? I love them. The ones that somebody's reacting to hearing a song or a piece of music for the first time. And I've watched somebody who's way too young to remember the 70s listening to Fleetwood Mac's Rumors for the very first time, or a voice coach listening to Disturbed's rendition of The Sound of Silence, which, if you haven't heard Disturbed's version of The Sound of Silence, pause me now and go listen to that. Go onto YouTube and listen to that because it's amazing. Anyway, I've always wanted to do one of those, but music really isn't my jam. That's actually my sister's thing, not mine. So I thought, well, I could do a reaction video on what is my jam, which is, of course, AI. So you are about to see me using a new feature by OpenAI that just was released a week or so ago. And it is the deep research feature. So if you've been following along with my AI videos, you'll know that I talk a little bit about how AI actually does its thing. Think of it as a big, giant predictive text model. So, you know, when you type something on your phone, if you type the cat in the, it'll come up with hat or box or something like that. Well, this is what the large language models do. They take a ton of the information that they've been trained on, and based on that information, they try and decipher what you're looking for and will answer it in the best way that it knows how. It doesn't spend a lot of time because it's called compute time. It's very, very expensive. So you get kind of the superficial layer when you just use, and don't get me wrong, they're very, very powerful, but it's not deep research. You get the superficial layer. It's sort of like looking at the top three selections on doing a Google search rather than page 31. Deep research goes to page 31. Deep research takes more time, more compute time, and interestingly enough, asks you clarifying questions. So I'm going to look over here, which is where my screen actually is. This came about because I wanted to ask it to do a real live thing. And I thought, well, instead of asking ChatGPT, I will ask the deep research feature of ChatGPT. Now, caveat here, it is only available on the desktop version and only available to those with Pro accounts, which is $200 a month US. This feature and the one that I'll show next week actually convinced me to pay that. I'm sure that it's going to be available for other accounts now, and it is a monthly payment that I'm making, so if I have to downgrade, I will. But I think that it's actually really well worth it for what I'm doing. So you can see that there is a deep research button here, and I'm going to push that, and that will make that blue. So it knows that I'm using the deep research feature. You have to tell it that. My very first question, or my prompt, is that I'd like to do research for an SEO and Google AdWords campaign to help people find me. I do a lot of outbound marketing, and I want more people to find me naturally. Well, you can't find me just naturally, so I have to do some work around SEO for my website, which has really, for the last 16 years, just been a big brochure. I want it to do more of the heavy lifting for me, and I'm exploring Google AdWords. So I don't know anything about this, so I'm going to ask ChatGPT deep research. So this is interesting. If I were to ask ChatGPT by itself, it would give me a great answer. But again, it's like looking at the first three selections that Google search comes up with, rather than really doing some deep research. So it's asking me some clarifying questions. So the first clarifying question is my target audience. Okay, so I have answered its questions. I did that off camera, so you wouldn't have to look at me type. And I will just paste that in there. Okay, so now it's going to research the most relevant SEO keywords and Google AdWords strategies for a speaker and consultant specializing in AI in the future of work, focusing on corporate executives, event planners, speakers bureaus, and conference organizers, looking for speakers in Australia, CEOs and senior leaders and HR directors, seeking consulting on AI-driven business and talent strategies. Pretty good. Search terms that cover both high intent competitive keywords and cost-effective long-tail keywords, and keywords relating to AI confidence building, practical AI skills, and AI-driven business solutions. It's compiling a report detailing the best performing keywords. So I'm going to pause you again until it's finished doing that. And I'll tell you about how long it takes. Now, what's interesting is as it's doing the research, it's telling me how many sources it's finding, and it's allowing me to look at the sources. Now, of course, AI is known for hallucinations, which is making stuff up, because it works like a giant predictive text model. However, the AI experts that I follow, that I talk to, that I'm friends with, that have looked at this app before say that it almost entirely negates hallucinations, that it's very, very reliable. And clearly it would be if it's citing its sources, or would be much more reliable if it's citing its sources. All right, put you back on pause. Okay, it just came back. I think it was about 4 minutes that it took to do this. So it just put a whole bunch of text in here, which I haven't looked at before. Okay, so SEO and Google Ads strategy for AI in the future of work. So it's giving me some high intent competitive keywords: motivational speaker, keynote speaker, future of work speaker, AI keynote speaker. And it's telling me about what they will cost per click. CPC is cost per click for people who have never done Google AdWords, and I would kind of put myself in the same category. And then there are long-term and long tail and cost-effective keywords, which are less competitive but more specialized. Okay, so interesting. And then Google Ads campaign structure recommendations. So as you can see, SEO optimization for website and content marketing. There's far too much to go over on this video. Latest trends and refinement. Dave Staunton, a friend of mine. SEO basics for speakers. Interesting. I wonder how old these sources are. Maybe I'll ask it. How old is your oldest source? And I've gotten caught out before by asking for, okay, 2023, 2024, that's not bad. I've got caught out before asking just regular ChatGPT when it first started citing sources to write an article with sources, and one of the sources was 5 or 6 years old, and it was just completely irrelevant. Valid at the time, but completely irrelevant for today. So I should have put in that caveat. Anyway, I will play with this some more, but holy moly, this is a lot deeper than the typical ChatGPT responses, which in and of themselves are good anyway. But I just wanted to give you the first glimpse, my reaction to this new technology. It's great fun, and I'm going to have a blast playing with it. I hope you do too.